The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
Eric's Family Barbecue has arrived and is simply the best barbecue in Arizona. Come satisfy your taste buds with meats that are smoked over mesquite wood and sides that are made with fresh ingredients and tons of love. They have the best, juiciest brisket, pulled pork, rib sausage, turkey, or everyone's favorite, the Pitmaster Sampler that includes all the meat and 4 sides, mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, corn, or beans, yum. And for dessert, try some creamy banana pudding, amazing. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip, you won't be sorry. Dine in or take it to go. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more info.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
The old method of treatment for a person in this condition was to throw him in jail.
98.
Good morning, Abe. I'll bet you it's not a good morning. I'll bet you right now it's not a good morning. I'll bet you $5, Brady. Bet you $5 right now. You're not going to have a good morning. Bet you $5. $5.
What's the odds on that one?
Over under on that.
You're
on. Plus 250. Bet you have a great morning, Brad. I bet you Toledo's morning is, I bet you draws even. I bet you even. It's 5:45. It's the Morning Sickness. How are you? My name's John. There's Brady. There's Brett. Big Dick Toledo. And there's your gambling apps, everybody. They're out and ready to go. Football is starting tonight. More importantly, everybody's a gambler. Gotta love it. The whole thing is wide open. Arizona is allowed to place online bets for the first time ever, and I have a feeling it's going to be fun for the first. The Braves they're already meandering around this
scanning
app thing,
through it,
looking through the apps and everything else, the FanDuel app that we got, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go.
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world, all right. We're going to get all sorts of fun stuff in there. Get all the gaming. And again, last night, watching a little NFL Network, and there they were, right there at the bottom of the screen, not just giving you the times and the matchups, Titans, Cardinals, 1 p.m., whatever time it is, and then it says over, under, +5 Cardinals. It's like, oh, my God, all the gambling stats are up. They did that. Vince McMahon put it on the XFL first, and now it's everywhere. So the gambling part is the bigger part of the game. And you want to talk about revenue in the building. Oh, my goodness. Jerry Jones said some comment a while ago about how he thinks it's going to be bigger than, eventually it's going to be bigger than Gate. Like it's going to be more than what they,
what they're pulling in,
what they pull in.
Yep.
It's going to for the team because they're involved in this. The reason it got approved, the NFL's like, where's our cut? And now they get to manage it. Oh, forget about it. It's going to be great. Good on you, boys.
So all the major sports get a cut of this then.
If they're participating, well, you get a sports book in your in house. So I mean, house takes money, and it's basically going to be you pay the fees to run the game. You're allowed to do it. So not necessarily the apps, although the advertising money is going to be crazy for all these teams in house.
Are there any?
Remind you that FanDuel is inside the building, right. And then you go and play live betting right there. There's a whole section of the Suns arena that I saw that is a sports book. You can leave your seat, go to this area, and watch all the games you want to watch. So, just like you're in Vegas. It's amazing.
That's why I was wondering, are there any stadiums that are so old that they don't have an internal sports book?
They figure it out.
Because I was going to say, if there isn't,
like Fenway or
Wrigley,
we need a new stadium.
Trust me, they'll build their own. Finally, they might have enough money to do their own, but they'll just do what they did here at Banquin Ballpark and just turn that thing next door into a sports book. They'll just have a building nearby. I don't know what like Lambeau Field and stuff like that. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's pretty impressive what they're doing. So, and be careful. Like Brady said, every time you log off, it says, you got a problem? Because legally they had to add that at the end of every time you click on one of these apps. It's going to ask you at the end, you okay? It's like trying to be your friend after it's like, hey, let's throw your money around. For like, are you okay?
I called the 800 number afterwards.
Did you?
I'm so guilty. I'm like, I'm sorry. I played some bet. You're okay.
I also
quit calling.
I whacked off to some porn last night. It was more so the guy's wang than it was the girl. It was huge. All right. You don't have to tell us about that, sir. But it was so big.
I'm just riddled with guilt.
I don't like this. I'm calling my mom next. Brady, your dad and I made a fortune gambling and watching porn last night. So did I. Isn't it awful? Yeah, just tragic. But that's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of people. I may never, ever go anywhere ever again aside from where I went last night. Brady, you got to do this. You too, Brett.
All right.
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know. This would be good for you. Brett would like this.
All right.
This is very much. I went to Doug Hopkins and I went to dinner last night. to celebrate how
TV's Doug Hopkins?
TV's Doug Hopkins and I to celebrate more just the fact that I let him hang out with me in public. It's pretty cool for him, especially because everywhere we go, this TV's Doug Hopkins, this guy asks everybody, you know who John Holmberg is? You know who John? Just to try to get just embarrassed. He's being it's hilarious, but it's like, oh. And last night we went to a place and we went to Kai at the Sheraton. Have you been to this yet?
I have not.
The only place in Arizona, I'm pretty sure still, that has a Michelin star. It's international recognition.
Yes.
It is. A Michelin star is like as good as you can get in a restaurant. It's the highest honor you can. I think they've got one, maybe two. I don't know.
Yeah, there's none.
This is it.
I don't even know how many are in the U.S. It's not that
there aren't many. Yeah. It's tough to get. And they take them away. So, like, they'll come in and they'll give you, like, this is an incredible experience, Michelin star, blah, blah, blah. And then come back later. And then if it's not up to their standard, they'll take the Michelin star away because it's a guide international to say if you're ever in this area, this is the only. And
Binkley's used to have one.
Binkley's a long time ago.
And that, I don't think it exists anymore.
Nope. And then, because my ex-wife's stepmom, whatever she was, only ate at Michelin star restaurants when she go out of town. Like she would, like not every time, not every night, but she's like, when we're going to eat big, we're going to eat. If I'm in
this town, let's find this restaurant.
Yeah, and that was it. So she had the guide, and then she was big on that. So we went to Kai last night, and it is unreal, unbelievable experience. It's out there at Wild Horse Pass in the back end of the Whirlwind Golf Course by the Sheraton Resort, which is gorgeous. I didn't know how far back that was. I haven't been there ever. It's way back tucked away in the mountains and stuff, and you walk in, and it's like, it's a very nice place, and you go into the restaurant and everything else, and there's Hopkins standing there asking all the bartenders and everything, you know who Holmberg is? You get up and listen in the mornings? Like, and then a few of them did.
Knock it off!
I'll tell you this right now. Doug swung and missed a couple times because you're on the mother reservation. They know this show. They know. So the cool part was we're
Chief Double Down?
Yeah. Oh, they loved it. They loved it. So we're there. It's very nice, and it's like attention at a restaurant you've never received in your life. The waiter was named Jeremy, but as the night wore on, he was more and more like, all I saw and heard was Jeff Goldblum. He looked and kind of moved exactly the same. And they explain everything. And at first you're kind of like, all right, this might be overkill. And then after a while, all you want him to do is tell you about every single thing that's going on. The menu itself, there's a piece of art on it. And he explains the art.
They've studied it.
It's native. And so they talk about, what it means and all that. Like it becomes fascinating. So in the middle of it, this lovely young Native American girl is the one of the assistants. Now, there's 4 or 5 per table. So the crazy part is they're all dressed like ninjas. They're all in black. They have black gloves on, black masks because they're back on mask mandates.
Yep.
But black masks. Everything is black. And out of nowhere, 5 people just show up at the same time, each assigned to one person at the table to remove the plates. And it is a full-on like attack of all ninja stuff, and they'll move your forks. The forks come in and they just rearrange everything, and you're like, and it's incredible. So the lady comes up and starts talking about it's a 5-course meal. You get to choose 2 things from each course, or 1 thing from each course. There's 2 or 3 options. So you go through the thing, and she's standing next to me, and I'm explaining to Megan about some of the things because it's some of the stuff's like weird.
Yeah,
like it's stuff like. And I said to her, and I stopped myself midway through this, and I don't know how I had this filter, and I'm so glad I did. Girl standing next to me, another of the employees standing right on the other side of the table, and I said something to the effect of, "You're going to want to order your own kind of thing, not because there's a wine pairing you can get." And I said, "But the wine pairing's going to be for an adventurous taste." And I said, "And I don't think you're gonna." And right as I started to say, "Go off the reservation," my brain goes, "Those words." So I'm like, I don't think you're gonna. That's for somebody who's gonna. You're not gonna go. You're not gonna order a bunch of crazy stuff. And I sounded like a lunatic. I sounded like Biden trying to finish the sentence. Nobody at the table knew, and I told them all afterwards. And Doug's like, I would have been under the table. I'm like, you and me both would have been hiding under there. So you got to watch that. I swore.
And finally, my last stand for dessert.
Yeah, exactly. And then I said the other thing because after each time everybody's kind of done, the waiter gives the clear to the rest of the ninjas, the 5 ninjas that come to the table and do the work real fast. And they just attack the table and they're gone. And I told Doug, I'm like, now I know how Custer feels. They're everywhere. It's like they just out of nowhere, and then your stuff's clean. What an experience, though. 6:30, you sit down. We left at about 20 after 10.
Wow.
Because it is just a slow. I wouldn't have known it. It's maybe the greatest culinary experience I've ever had. The detail is amazing.
And there's wine with each flight?
Well, you can do the wine thing. I
yeah.
didn't because I drove, so I didn't drink. But Doug did it. And they do the sommelier comes out, pours the wine, explains the wine, where it's from, what it is, what it's going to do to the food, and it's just amazing.
So you had a cheeseburger, a hot dog?
I got the fries and tots. I just wanted a full starchy potato
menu.
You guys have tots and a grilled cheese? Because I'm not going off the. I'm not ordering a bunch of crazy stuff.
What was some of the highlights?
Well, I gave you most of the highlights, which is
but
there was good food.
Do you remember any of the dishes that
I had a beef buffalo tenderloin, and it might be better than steak.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's unreal. Yeah,
those are
and perfect. It was ridiculous. I've never had an experience like this to where you're catered to in such a manner. I mean, I love Steak 44, Ocean 44.
Yeah.
I like been to Nobu. It's fantastic, but those are restaurants. This is an event. Like your meal's an event, and then here we are. We have our main course. Here's the main course is here now, and if you got the buffalo tenderloin. Let me tell you about the people and the buffalo. And then he'd say stuff in Indian, in a Native American tongue, and he said, "Hi, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great night. My name's Jeremy." And I'm going to butcher it, so Native Americans laugh at this because this is what it sounded like to me. Chuck, Jeremy. That one doesn't work. You have to change your name to like High Horse or something. It sounded Chinese. Jeremy. Just say Tonto. Do something good with it. But it was great. I honestly never, ever experienced anything like that. As far as just, this is what the difference is between, say, this is that
a restaurant
super
experience.
Yeah, to be honest, not crazy expensive. Pricey, no doubt, but Nobu is a house payment. When the bill comes at the end, you're like, I don't know if I can eat again for a month. This place just drained me, and the higher places. But this one was on pace with
in-level Steak 44, Ocean 44, a steakhouse.
Yeah. It was. I'm still like kind of, and you leave not feeling like you packed yourself full of food. The portions are those, those when movies and people go to those fancy restaurants and stuff, and they put down a plate and there's like a dot on it.
Yeah.
It's a little more than that, but it is like, these are. But then you realize, I'm a human being, not an American tonight. I'm eating normal portions. This is what normal portions look like. This isn't Claim Jumper, where a guy comes out with a ladle of whatever and just pours it over another thing that's on top of another thing.
And you have to portion it out because there's 5 rounds. Really.
Yeah, but they're small. Even the first a tomato soup was in a shot glass, and it was ridiculous. You're like, that's plenty. It was unreal.
But it's not like Chinese food where 20 minutes later you guys are ready to go slam some burgers or something.
Not at all. I've done that before. In California once I had one that tried to be this, and it was all this fancy food. It was a little dot of food on each plate, and there was like 9 courses. And we're like, all right. On the drive home, we hit a McDonald's, and I was like, I'm starving. We didn't get any food. But this is so satisfying. You're actually kind of like, I think I'm full. Huh. My body's telling me like this was plenty.
And probably laid out a longer period of time.
Just
might have helped.
It was gapped out perfect. You never thought, where's the next thing? Oh, it's amazing. Kai. If you got
I'm going to get some of that tomato soup to go.
Yeah, you try to. We get a quart of that? What's a quart cost a guy? It's I would tell you that your quart of soup will be about $3,000 if you're interested. Oh, he's got a card. Jeremy was awesome. He was great. So you got artwork on your menu, right?
Yeah,
like real art. They exchange it. They put a piece of art, and at the end of the night, they gave it to us. So this is painting. And that is where the tribe first encountered their home here in South Mountain region. And it was then called the Eoi Chi Aka Ha Ta Pa Jeremy. And, of course, then Whitey came and ruined it. Enjoy your meal. Like, yeah, that's right. He nailed that all the way through. So, yeah, so then you're playing the game at the table after Jeremy leaves to interpret the painting and stuff. It was great. Seriously, it was great.
Check it out.
And then Hopkins got drunk and took a dump on the floor. It was embarrassing, but yeah, that'll happen. Then he bought the place. But the amazing part is he bought it for cash right there in front of everybody. $12 and some beads. It was incredible. I don't know how he pulled it off. But no, I've never experienced anything like that. So
That's cool.
Jeremy comes by. Hopkins pulls the old, you know who Holmberg is? You know the station. And he's never met John Holmberg. And I'm like, oh, what a treat it would be to meet that guy. And the waiter comes by and he goes, "Do you ever listen to the radio? You ever listen to the morning?" And I goes, "What do you do?" And he goes, "Well, I listen to Holmberg in the morning." And I'm like, "Oh, I told you this guy was cool. Give him a fist bump." And Jeremy couldn't stop being like, "Oh, what an honor, sir." And it just kills Hopkins. So I'm like, "You know about TV's Doug Hopkins? He'll buy or sell your house for cash right now." Never heard of him. I don't care for commercials. It was great. I'm telling you. Run. Don't walk, run,
That's
Brady.
your grilled tenderloin of buffalo up here?
Oh, there. You got the menu pulled
Yes.
up. Good. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see
The
that.
journey.
I got myself, there's the berth, which is the first thing. Go up to the top of the menu. There's the berth, you see. And I got the, what did I get in that one? That's a different menu. That's the different one we got. They change it all the time.
Oh, do they? Okay.
So the chef does an amazing presentation.
Stuff looks good, though.
Oh, there was everything. Everything.
Did you get the lobster?
Take Medea down there.
All right.
And get all hooked up because I'm telling you, we talked yesterday, but Brady, you talked about, don't let it be held hostage.
Yeah.
This is going to make her not just say you did nice things for me. This is going to make it's just nonstop blowjobs. That's all it'll be.
All right.
It's just everybody that is at the Hopkins got me last night.
That's what Kai means.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's hot chock, hi, squirt, Jeremy.
Oh, you just ruined the blowjob right there. Sorry.
Well, with Hopkins?
Didn't know the Jeremy
Hopkins pretty
part.
good at it.
Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. Don't think of Jeremy when you're getting a blowjob.
All right, let's do this.
You are leaving our... I couldn't believe I almost set off the reservation. Right there, she's standing there with her pitcher of water. And how my brain stopped me, I don't know.
Good night. May there be plenty of breathing on your chalk.
And now she will breathe on the cha. If you are interested, we have a room for it. Very well done.
Now I got to meet Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy was great. He was fantastic. The greatest, I won't even say server, presenter I've ever seen in my life. It's unreal. If you've got a fancy occasion coming up, or you got something you want to try to, just be a good dude, or lady, you could take the fella out there, earning women, women earners, the 70 cents to the dollar ones, those. Get on out there. No joke. It's a gem. I didn't, international recognition for a reason. It's spectacular.
The full melt day too. You could go the Aja, I call it Aja spa,
the spa
is pretty nice.
Sure,
out
if you want to
there.
get rubbed down. I'm not into that. But
if you're lady, you take the whole package.
I don't know what you're doing there. Just take her to dinner, for God's sakes. How bad is she? You got to get
You
her a
wanna
spa day.
loosen her up a little
One or
bit.
the other. This is not Christmas. It's just one or the other. Loosen her up.
That's your job.
Yeah, it's your
Come
job,
on.
man. She's my ball glove. I'm taking care of that. Yeah, I don't want her sleepy and then eating. She's going to have excuses at the end. I want her all ramped up for this meal. Trust me. Yeah, that spa thing, go nuts, ladies. You do that on your own. I'll pay for spa packages for you. If we're on vacation, you want to do that, click that box. I hate those. All that touching, stranger hands. I don't know where those booger hands have been. Oof. If you like it, that's fine. But you don't want to do this before the meal. Make the meal the only event of the day. This is not a double up or a double down, as it were. Oh, so good. And they were so close to a casino. It's almost midnight.
And?
I didn't go.
Oh.
I'm going to gamble right here in my hand now, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Oh, we're ready to go. Football starts tonight. Got the bets ready to go. Prop bets all in there. Who's going to score the first touchdown? You start reading the stuff that they offer, and you got game after game inside the game. This could be fun. Who scores the first down? What are the yardage of Brady? Dak Prescott, is he going to? Oh, it's just awesome. So I'm ready to go, as is most of the rest of Arizona. But Scott Haynes says Porkopolis had a Michelin star. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they had a Michelin man. They had a
There's
Michelin man. It was Brady. Brady walking around saying, I'm your Michelin star, man. I don't believe that's a fact. You should have hired that Jeremy guy. Porkopolis would have been a different animal. Oh, my God. You had a guy like that. It's just, you've never been part of anything like this at a restaurant. It's just ridiculous. It's almost like he's giving you a bath the whole time. You feel so taken care of. It's sort of like being in a crib.
John, did the food run through you like the spirit of the buffalo?
No, it did not. In fact, I'm still holding on to it. It'll be gone later today, I hope. But right now, it's still in the belly.
Nice.
I'm still burping up a little bit here and there. Oh, it's so good. And at the end, I think I had soap I think my dessert was a bar of soap, and it was phenomenal. It shows up, and I'm like, mine looks like a bubble bath. It's just bubbles and green and this weird red thing on it. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And it's a melange of fruit. Dragon fruit lives deep inside. All right, Jeremy, I got it. It's soap. And I just spoon out my soap, and I'm like, this is the best tasting soap I've ever had. I didn't know what some of the stuff I was eating was. Didn't care. Hopkins had escargot out of the shell. I've never seen that before. They shell it. You scoop them out, and then they chop it up and put it in this thing. And it's just delicious. It's incredible. Incredible night. And just giggling and goofing around the whole night. I didn't even drink. Can't imagine if I would have been drinking how good that would have been.
There's like 6 messages that came through, so it's Kai at Wild Horse Pass.
Kai.
Okay.
It's the Sheraton.
Okay.
Beyond Wild Horse Pass. But you get off like you're going there and follow the signs back to the Sheraton Resort, which is, I didn't know how far back that was. It's tucked way back there. And the views are incredible. I've always taken that area for granted because the only time I ever look at that stuff is going down the I-10.
And maybe you've been to Whirlwind.
I've never golfed Whirlwind.
Okay.
I've never golfed that course, but it's beautiful. And I
it's
know
the
it's out
same
there.
road.
But when you're out driving by the I-10 looking out at that, it just looks like desolate wasteland desert. When we were sitting there, the sun sets right behind the mountain. All of a sudden, that desert, it feels like you're in Sedona. They got that weird flute playing the whole time. It was unreal, man. Jeremy says, must be nice. Ching Chavez, light rail doesn't go to Kai. I know Jeremy's joking. It does. How do the employees get there? Oh, it's great. I'll be bragging about that for a while because that's, seriously, take the lady
all right,
and get on out there. And then just Captain Hook all the way home because you're going deep. Outstanding. That's if you have any money left over after today because we're gambling. Later today, we're going to gamble with the ghouls. We're going to do that again. You've not been part of that yet.
No.
Where we actually bet on whether or not the idiots on the phone know the questions before. Are you talking to him? Like, this guy sounds like a moron. I'll put money on him. Yeah, it's a gambling day, and football's here. Just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah. Brady, you need to go there this weekend. Get reservations if you can. And ask for Jeremy. Everybody ask for Jeremy. Because I've never been treated better in any service situation in my life. Truth. If I had a Holmberg star to give and I only had one to give, it would go there.
wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Oh, I want to go. I'm going right now. I'll see you guys later. I'm out of here. Screw this. I'm getting breakfast. Let's get a wake-up song, shall we? A good one. 585-9800. That's the number. We'll scream it together, and then we'll bet whether or not the scream was loud enough. It's 98 KUPD. Wake up!
Our country is facing a major crisis.
98
We need to find out what's causing it.
KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue and Al. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.